Okay, so in the first exercise, we have a simple traffic light, so it mimics what a traffic light does. The green LED stays on for 4 seconds, then the yellow one for 1 second, and the red one for another 4 seconds. But here we have an override mode, which means that the normal behavior of the traffic light will change. In the override mode, what it does is that the red LED will start blinking, telling you that it's in the override mode. Let's move to the next exercise. Now this one is really similar to the other one. The only difference is that we have an RGB light that indicates if the pedestrians can cross the street or not. So here, the RGB is in red, which means that the pedestrians cannot cross the street, and the green light it's on, so it means that the cars can keep driving. But if I push the button, this will stay on only for 5 seconds, then this one will stay on for 1 second, and this one will turn red. When this one turns red, this one turns blue, which indicates that you can start walking. And then it will start blinking, indicating you that you need to walk a little bit faster because the time is over. And that's pretty much what it does. Let's move to the other one. Now this one is pretty much the same as the first one, with the only difference that the potentiometer is the one that is telling you how much time the red and the green LED are going to stay on. That is dependent on the resistance. So if I put the resistance of the potentiometer near to 0, the green and the red LEDs will stay on for really low time. But if I increase this to the maximum, they'll stay on for a long time. We can see how that works here. The yellow LED, it always stays on for only 1 second, so it doesn't matter how I change the potentiometer, it will always stay on. This one also has the override function, so I'm gonna press it. We'll have to wait a little bit until the time is over. Okay, I think it's almost done. Done. Okay, the time is over. Now it enters the override mode, in which again the red LED will start blinking. Let's move to the smart Christmas light. Now here what we have is a Christmas light that is dependent on the resistance of this photoresistor. So what it means is that depending on the brightness of the day, of how bright it's outside, the LED will bright higher or lower. Okay, so I'll reformulate that. This will the light will be more intense depending on the daylight. So if it is completely dark outside, the intensity of this light will be really high. But as it starts turning, as the sun starts rising, you can see that the RGB diminishes its brightness until it turns off. Now the values of the colors that it has are random, and that's pretty much it. That's the exercise. Let's move to the other one. Now here we have a 7-segment display. In normal function, it'll count up until it reaches 9, and then it'll start over again from 0. But if you press the button, it'll count down instead of counting up. So instead of going from 0 to 9 again, it'll go from 9 to 0. We can see how it works here. So when it reaches 0, it'll go again to 9. And if I unpress the button, it'll return to the normal function, which is counting up. That's everything. Thank you.